welcome to the first podcast of the of this year's Owen podcast series. And our guest today is Yuri Mamchur. He is our student government president, second year this year, and we're going to be talking to him a little bit about his background, why he chose Owen, and his future career aspirations and how Owen has contributed to that, and maybe a little bit about Nashville as well. So first of all, Yuri, glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about your background.
I grew up in Moscow, Russia. Before that, I was born into a military family in Germany, but I grew up in Moscow. And when I was 18 years old, an exchange program called Camp America brought me here to be a YMCA camp counselor in Gig Harbor, state of Washington, and it did two influential changes to my life. One was I fell in love with working with kids, and second, I fell in love with the States, especially Pacific Northwest.
So did you go back to Russia for a while, or were you here?
No. I would return to Russia and come back every summer to Washington for the next 4 years, because I was still going to school back in Moscow.
Yeah.
So I would come for 4 months periods every year until I eventually moved to the States in 2005.
Okay. And what did you do when you moved to the States?
I started a large nonprofit program at a think tank that still exists, and I'm still managing it, and it deals with U.S.-Russia relations.
So you get to the point in your life where you're deciding, I really want to go get an MBA. How did you vet that process, and how did you decide on Owen?
There are two aspects. One is me, another one is family. I'm the only child and come from a very well-educated family. And parents put a lot of value on education, and they were not necessarily supportive of me being in America, again, due to me being the only child in the family.
Yeah.
And they envisioned a little different career path for myself, because I have a law degree back in Russia, and I worked at a law firm for half a year, and I realized that law is not what I want to pursue throughout my life. So parents wanted me to get an American graduate degree. American graduate education is world-renowned, and they felt that that would justify me being away from home for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
On my end, I'm very entrepreneurial, so I started dealing with a lot of consulting and business issues where I felt that my Russian legal education and life experience at some points was not sufficient enough to assist me fully in my day-to-day duties.
So, and then when you really arrived on Owen, what specific attributes? Was it kind of geographic, or was it maybe some of the strengths of the school, or how did you get to that point?
I reached out to one of the alums who is VP of Starbucks before I even accepted the position, and he met with me for over an hour in his office, and I highly appreciated the way alums at Owen treat even prospective students.
Yeah.
That was significant. Came out to Nashville. I loved the student body. I love the students. I love the school. I came here in January and April, which were not 100% humidity and 100% Fahrenheit.
Yeah. It's a different ballgame in August.
So it looked wonderful weather-wise, and the area was nice. I love music. There's symphony. There's a lot of music here. Also, my mentor's advice was that, Yuri, you have lived on the East Coast. I've lived in D.C. Have lived on the West Coast. You will not fully know America as a country and American business culture if you don't live in the South. So,
absolutely.
alums, students, music, program,
yeah,
everything.
That's good. And again, getting that geographic diversity on a resume, I think I know that was the last thing you said, and probably the least of the reasons, but I think that's pretty important as well. So you got here, you immediately started getting involved, and as I said before, you're now the president of the student government. So tell us a little bit about what that entails, your responsibilities with that.
Oh, a lot of stuff that student government does are, not a lot, but there is a lot that's invisible. There are social events that Secretary for Social Events, Justin Hawkins, runs, and there are curriculum events, so if students are unhappy with classes, they can come to us and we will talk to the dean, we'll talk to professors about fixing them. There's facilities issues, as in why are there so many books or bathroom condition or whatever that is, that goes through us, but also just general mindset about the clubs within the student body. What are they doing? How active are they? Students' attitude, what is our goal as a student body? Are we just here to get education, or are we here to make the place better and leave it better than the way we found it?
So without getting into too many details, you do have an entrepreneurial drive in you. Tell us a little bit about some of the support you've gotten, maybe from being here in Nashville, or just from Owen in particular in your entrepreneurial pursuits.
Great question. I came to Owen to become normal, as I say. I wanted to get my normal MBA degree and internship and a job, and maybe stop being crazy and doing my own things and find the so-called security.
Yeah.
And there were opportunities, there were internship opportunities within multinational companies and one consulting company. And what I love Owen for is that my career management advisor told me that, Yuri, you're just not made for corporate world, you need to do your own thing.
Yeah.
And I love Owen's faculty because I got the same advice from faculty advisors and from Career Management Center. Because many schools would have been worried about their stats and their rankings in the sense of employment and internship positioning of their students. Owen pushed me off the cliff to do what I was made to do, and I'm loving it. Another aspect to that is there's a great executive coach program at Owen. You get the executive coaches who coach Fortune 500 CEOs and VPs. They come and work with students on one-on-one basis. That was very helpful. Her advice was consistent with the advice that I heard. And then the Summer Enterprise Grant is a $15,000 bulk of money that an Owen alum writes towards a business plan that is sufficient enough. So I was one of the few lucky students who got it this summer, and that was inspiring because I want to say, first time in my life, I got the sincere investment towards a fairly crazy musical project.
So tell us a little bit more. I know you've talked about how Nashville is nurturing your professional career, but just as a student, how have you found the city to be? Is it livable? How does it compare to Moscow?
I think Nashville's population is 500,000 people.
So
Moscow's population is 15 million people
Yeah.
in the city core, so it's
scale difference there.
two different games. However, I love culture. Less than a mile away from Owen, there's Nashville Symphony. There are multiple performance halls and honky-tonks and all that. So you can get a spread anywhere from R&B and dance music to the 9th
Yeah.
Symphony, which we're going to go see next Saturday with my classmates. And so culturally it's great. You know, people are very nice. Southern hospitality is real. It's not made up, actually. And the preconceived notion that Southerners are slow is actually untrue. I found business circles in Nashville to be very quick with their decisions and ability to follow through.
You're not just saying that because I'm from the South?
I actually did not remember that you were from the South. So no, Nashville has been great in that regard. And I don't want to demise Nashville stand in any way, but what I personally love, because my office is in Seattle, my family is in Moscow, and I have a lot of things that take me to the East Coast. Without traffic, I can get from Owen to the airport in 7 minutes. And while the international Nashville airport is an international airport, you can come 35 minutes before the plane departure, and you'll be fine on your way. I can leave my school, my apartment 1 hour before the plane departure and
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
make it to Moscow. That's
Awesome. Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have you on sometime later to talk a little bit more about your entrepreneurial venture. We're going to have hopefully a entrepreneur series that we're going to carry on throughout the year. But I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
on
much.
with us. And good luck this year with
Hey.
your presidency.
Thank you. Good luck to OwenBloggers.
Hey,
Keep it up,
thanks.
guys.
All right,
Thank you.
guys. Thanks.
Flirt.